Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the podcast. We do not really have a name for this podcast yet, but hopefully later on we're gonna get a name for it. I'm excited about the topic we are talking about today. I am here with David Wills. I've known David for a while, and we've been friends. I think David since 2018, 2019, thereabout. I think so. Yeah,
Yeah, 2018. 2018. 2018
yeah.
when I came over to your center of practice, I think so.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I'm gonna let David introduce himself, but today we're talking about something absolutely exciting. We're talking about AI in coding, and for this episode, we titled it "Revolutionizing AI in Coding." You know, for software development. Okay, so David, can
That's like a very huge topic. Very
absolutely,
huge topic.
absolutely, it is, man. All right, so first off,
So
before we actually delve in, I do want you, David, to introduce yourself, let the people know about you. Lots of things to say about David. He's a software engineer, seasoned pro. I do have. If I were to introduce him, I would say a lot of things, but just go for it, man.
okay,
Yeah,
so you already know me now.
I do know you,
You're
but the
more like a
people,
like you actually mentored
I
me. Like
appreciate it, man.
you
Yeah,
actually, yeah, exactly. You actually gave me the first, taught me how to, write code first, Though I've actually heard about it a couple of times, but I haven't tried it myself. So I think when I came over to your place of center of learning, that's where I enrolled, and you you did what you had to do. So I had to follow all the instructions. I am, and right now this is where I am today. So I took it further. I took it further, and right now I'm a software engineer. I've been writing software for the past 5 plus years now. And I also did my master's in computer engineering as well too. So partly software enthusiast. I'm also on the academic side of it as well. So I'm also a lecturer in a private university as well too. So there's a whole lot. I'm a businessman and everything. I'm an AI enthusiast as well. So let's go for it.
yeah, let's go for it, man. I love it. David himself is an AI enthusiast. Lots of products that he's actually brought to the fore. Probably may not talk about all of them right now, but he's a businessman indeed in the software development space, software engineering space. You know, um, okay, so today we're talking about something unique, revolutionizing AI in coding, right? And lots of things to talk about today. But let's talk about automation of. Oh, do you know what? I'm gonna let you get started, and in between, I'm probably gonna make a comment or probably ask you a question or stuff like that. But I want you to carry on and go for it.
There's a whole lot of buzz around the AI thing. There's a whole lot of buzz around it. All these models, there's a whole lot of buzz and how well it's going to replace lots of people, lots of jobs, you know. So, human beings usually like it's a normal thing. It's a normal thing when there's a new technology on board. We tend to have this sort of fear that, oh, this is going to replace us and things like that. I mean, especially in where we are today in software engineering, there's a whole lot of buzz around the fact that they've been able to develop this LLM and this large language model, and to the point that you could write codes and bring out different snippets and do mad stuff. People think it's in that case it has come to replace software engineers. I mean, I don't know. Software engineering has actually been there from the very beginning. It's a problem-solving field, so I mean, it's quite hard. I mean, it's a problem-solving field, so it's very hard for AI to say, oh, for people to say AI will replace a field that has to do with problem-solving, because as far as we're concerned, as far as software is concerned, it's about solving problems. So what it helps us to do is that it might optimize in a way, but to say it's going to replace, nah, because most times in our field, about capturing data, being able to manipulate data. And if you need to understand the behavior of data, and that requires a whole lot of, you know, and that requires software engineers, being able to capture this data, this behavior of this data, being able to manipulate it and control it based on the way you want. You know, that's software engineering, and AI won't do that. AI won't do that. AI won't. You will still have to really between the lines to understand some certain things and what's happening between your code base. Because software built in a certain way, and most times you need to fix it. You need to debug. You need to do some stuff to ensure that it works efficiently. So AI will do that. AI is more like whatever thing I've given to you, that's what you're going to give to me back. There's nothing like intuitive, thinking in a way of whereby you would have to go deep, and it is quite hard. It's quite hard. It's not going to replace software engineers. That's all. Period.
Yeah,
I feel like this
absolutely.
this whole talk should just end.
Yeah,
We should just end this conversation right now because it's not going to replace software engineers. But the beautiful thing about technology is that it
mhm.
it makes you to focus more on the problem.
Yeah,
This AI,
absolutely.
it tends to make one to focus more on the problem rather than so if you're smart enough or you're building any model, you tend to focus more on the problem, not to worry about if this line of code or which stack which you're going to use, instead of being in a space whereby you're wasting so much amount of
Yeah,
time with you're trying to fix a problem, which is, you know, it could help in that aspect, optimization, but to say to replace,
yeah.
it's not possible.
I don't think so. I mean, we've had lots of tools come our way, you know, in through the years, So AI is just something that's really gonna, help us do things faster, help us, do things smarter, and literally, it's a time saver when you come to think about it. So things like automated automation of repetitive tasks, and stuff like that. Let's talk about that part, because as you did, make mention, lots of people when they think about AI, they're thinking about, way back in the day when ChatGPT and a few others literally came out,
Mm-hmm.
there was we had this trend. A lot of people they were so afraid thinking AI suddenly. Well, I know, about layoffs due to AI, but it's not the way they actually put it. That AI was suddenly gonna, shut down the software engineering space, and the hype was massive, brother. So I think it has come to help. It has come to actually make things faster. And even right now, there's nobody right now that I think would, in his right mind, say to himself, do you know what? Let's go back to the way we were before without AI. Now that we've seen it, nah, brother, it ain't gonna happen.
Exactly. I was working on a project and my subscription got ended, and I was like, "Well, this is going to slow me down. This is going to slow me down." I think I told you that, and I wanted to, reactivate my subscription with Copilot. So it's kind of like it has come to stay. It's now,
Yeah,
I mean, it's become part of the fabric of our life,
absolutely.
just like the way Google is, the
Yeah,
Google search is. When the Google search came, it was like, oh, it gave birth to a whole lot of stuff. People who could do a whole lot of research and also debugging as well too. And for those who know how to know their way around the internet, who knows how to go around the Stack Overflow, the GitHub, and all stuff like that, which is amazing. And although
yeah,
sometimes it takes a lot of time, but what it does, what the AI does is that it
yeah,
simplifies the whole. It gives it simplifies the problem in a way you could see every fabrics of the problem and you could analyze it with
yeah,
ease and go to every subject of it
yeah,
and break it down to see if maybe you could find some other different stuff, when trying to solve a problem, because most
Yeah.
times when solving a problem, you can find multiple solutions in that problem,
Yeah, absolutely.
but you're looking for that long-lasting problem, which long-lasting solution to
Yeah.
solve that problem, which is going to be sustainable for a very long time. So AI helps you to simplify all those concepts.
Yeah.
It could maybe the idea in your head is not that clear. He makes it more clearer
Hmm.
and makes it for you to have more understanding and visualize it in a certain way so that you can be able to solve the problem. So
Yeah, absolutely.
it has now become part of our life, and we can't
Yeah.
actually do without
Yeah.
it for now. Yeah, it
Think
is.
about it, brother,
It's
man.
it's
Yeah, of course. You know, we're talking about complexity, of software development, you know, and sometimes, the phrase it being a time saver, I think it's absolutely what we're talking about here, of course with other things. But if you want to start, a simple project, let's say you're building a Next.js project, and you want to build a simple header. Way back, you would have to literally create all of that. But for instance, one of the AI integrations I actually use embedded into my Visual Studio Code, apart from the others, one is called Cody AI. And with Cody, I could literally talk to it in there. It's not really like Claude, the version I use, you cannot really send it images and stuff like that.
mm,
Just express yourself. And I'm like, all right, I've got this header. I create my structure, structure out the whole way I want the application to look like, and I say, hey, I want to create a header and with a few navigations, it's the hover and it's going to be in this way. I could literally do that stuff on my own quickly, but with
true.
AI, it's going to be faster, come think on it. It's gonna be faster and literally it's gonna do that. And most of the times, we all know this personally, it's not really gonna give you the exact thing you said, especially most when you actually, prompts, like give it text
But at
prompts.
least,
Yeah,
but at
but at
least you
least
have
it's
something to
gonna,
work with,
yeah,
and you
and
can always
then
tweak it and
you can,
modify it.
yeah, work in there, tweak it, iterate on whatever, levels you come up to. But I think it's absolutely useful, big time. I think I know, so, all of these thoughts of, you should
The
embrace it.
beautiful
Yeah.
thing about
Tell
it,
me, man.
software design, it's being able to capture data itself. It's it's been how you capture it. It's always been a thing, like
All right.
for all software engineers around the
Yeah.
world, because hence the reason why most times you're working on a software which is not scalable because the code base is not scalable. It's just one way. But I mean, what AI does that most all of the snippets
Yeah.
of codes, I mean, they are quite, I mean, it's something that it is reusable. Most times, most of its snippets are reusable
Yeah.
functions you could use around your code at any time. I mean, it's it's a code. Sometimes it generates code base that are sustainable, that are scalable.
Hmm.
That's just it, and it's for the complexity of the problem, it helps breaks down the problem. If you know now, it now depends on you to being able to understand. In fact, AI what AI does is that it helps you to understand the problem more. You focus
Hmm.
more on the problem itself,
Yeah.
not necessarily the stack which you're going to use to capture the data within these problems. But
Yeah.
it helps you to simplify the problem to the barest minimum for you to understand it in the most simplest way so that you can solve the problem. It
Absolutely.
is so whichever it is, whether in terms of if you want a schema of
Hmm.
your app components, or you want a UI UX design to see how the mock-up will look like first
Yeah.
and first. I mean, it's about visualization first when you're trying
Yeah.
to solve a problem. And what AI will do, it helps you to give you that visual image of that problem which you're solving so they can be able to, visualize it and, being able to pen it down in software. That's
Yeah.
all.
Sure. Sure thing. All right, so just to actually bring everything into perspective, so far we've talked about a couple of things. Again, we're talking about revolutionizing AI in software development. So AI in coding, literally. Now we've talked about so far, about all of the beautiful things AI has done for us and the beautiful things AI, um, has helped us with. We talked about automation of repetitive tasks. AI being as an aid. David, you talked about that, not a replacement, right? Yeah. So complexity of software development. And let's talk about evolving roles. With roles evolving, it seems like developers might need to learn new skills, to stay ahead. It's almost
I
like the
think,
job description for a developer
I
is
don't think,
expanding. Do you
I
think
don't,
so? Yeah, how do
with
you
our
think?
roles,
Yeah, how do you think
of
it's?
course, our roles,
Yeah.
of course, the role of a software engineer will evolve. Of course, it has, if it has not already.
Hmm.
But it's what this is. It we're not going to be faced with the normal basic task anymore.
Hmm. Yeah.
So I feel like right now, I mean, the whole software engineering right now, engineers right now, we focus more on complex tasks, those complex tasks, the most complex task, the most intense problem. That's what we should be focusing on right now because I mean anybody who doesn't know how have an idea about the computer or front end could actually generate a web page within seconds
That's right,
and
man.
post it on the
Go on YouTube, man. You'd learn
you know
about different, startups.
in
Yeah,
seconds.
man.
It's crazy how the amount of information which we're consuming right now via this AI, which is right now, if you could learn anything, not just in computer science, not just in software engineering, but anything in terms of writing, script writer, or maybe your literature or you're an author, anything, you know. So, but for we as software engineers, what um, it's we are right now focused on mainly on the core of the problem,
Yeah.
the core of every problem. So whatever tasks we are facing right now, it's not those basic simple tasks anymore. So I mean, I like it. I like the challenge. So you know, you could everyone could start building complex stuff every day and see how it
Yeah,
goes. Let's see
absolutely.
how it goes. So it's just beauty about it. I feel like we should embrace it instead of frowning over it. You know.
Yeah, of course.
And for those people who engineers who still don't use it as their debugging tool,
Yeah,
I
big time.
mean,
Big time.
there's nothing, there's no award for wasting time. There's no award
Nah.
for wasting time.
I tell people,
There's no
David,
award.
I tell people that, Elon even said this. Elon Musk said this. Companies who don't use AI in today's day and age would, or rather, putting it this way, companies that use AI in today's day and age would do far better than companies that don't use AI, at its best potential right now. Think about it. It is come. You've got to get on board. I had an interview with Amy. You should probably check out that interview. She talked about why she wasn't excited not, joining, earlier, but right now she's on it and it's been doing absolutely amazing things for her. So
Yeah,
everyone should come on board
it
here.
is. It is.
So do you
I
want to
mean,
talk about, okay, yeah?
everyone,
Yeah,
it actually makes you better. It makes studying better. It makes research easy for you. You know, you could easily develop your whole idea to full model, in just right in front of you.
absolutely.
Just, you know, so there's no reason why we shouldn't embrace it. I mean,
Come on.
it helps us optimize our workflow. So hence the reason why we should embrace it.
Just so you know,
So I
you,
mean, every company is actually jumping on this bandwagon right now on the research, on deep learning and stuff like that,
yeah,
because data right now, data right now is now like the new catch. It's like everything right now.
yeah,
So whoever has been able to capture data in a certain way to use it for his own advantage, then he's king.
yeah,
Like being able to manipulate it in a certain way, you could predict
yeah,
the forex market based on all this information, based on what we have right now.
yeah.
Like those libraries like TensorFlows. You could write, I mean, machine learning models that would learn from all this and predict. I mean, with this same AGI which we have right now. So it's crazy. It's
It's
crazy.
crazy,
Like you
man.
could literally just start learning your whole software engineering within a week. Sorry to say
Yeah, man.
that.
Yeah, man. Why no, brother? Think about it, man.
Like you could learn like okay. I actually went back
Hmm.
to there's I was studying something and it was really hard. Like of course it was hard, but I had to study through, chat GPT.
Hmm.
I mean it was quite easy for me to understand the concept because I was literally prompting the AI to teach me this concept as if I'm
Yeah.
5 years old.
Oh yeah. All right.
And it was using stuff like box of chocolate to
Yeah.
explain this concept.
Yeah.
Then I mean it's quite crazy. I mean anyone could learn anything, anything,
Just so you know,
anything.
you that are watching us right now, AI is not going anywhere. It's not gonna go back to
It's
how.
not.
Yeah,
That's not. I
you've
mean,
got
it's
to.
gonna make us better, just like the way the Google made us better
Yeah,
researchers, better writers, better developers. I mean, better screen play writers, and it made humanity better generally.
absolutely. Think about it,
When it
David.
came out,
If you go out,
same way.
yeah, David. If you go out on YouTube, any other platform, go on the internet. Basically, you're gonna learn about lots of beautiful stories. One of which, we've got people building startups. I know of this guy that I follow on YouTube. By the way, you want to subscribe to the channel. If you're not subscribed right now, hit the like button. All right, but this guy, he literally started a startup, a product, a SaaS app using
Of
Claude.
course,
You know, according to him, actually, he didn't know anything about coding. But he just started, and it was crazy. Someone who didn't know nothing about coding. And right now, that product is on subscription, and he has a lot of people who onboarded. First, he looked for a problem, created an app to solve that, and look at what he's doing right now. So think about it. It's absolutely good. David, do you want to say anything about ethical and security challenges and stuff like that?
okay.
I mean, this
You know,
video is gonna go around the world, and something you might say right
it is
now
very
might be really
important.
useful.
Yeah, yeah, sure, sure. Like, you know, why AI is actually moving really fast. You know, AI technology is really moving very fast. The most important thing is about regulation. How well we use these things on a daily basis so that we don't use to destroy the what we've built. As humans, as
Hmm.
humanity generally.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, um, we'll always have to have that balance, the culture of safety. The reason for regulation is it's like if let's take for example cars. If there were no regulations, you wouldn't have things like if there were no regulations on cars over the years, that you won't have things like safety measures like the street light, the traffic light, proper road signs. Do you understand me?
Yeah, got it.
So hence the reason for regulations that people are calling for regulations of this AI because I mean take for example music wise, let me give for example music wise, like you could develop a model that would listen to an artist music,
Mm,
train to listen to artist music for like thousands of hours, and after then that same model could start producing something similar. It's crazy, and you don't
yeah,
even need to depend on that artist anymore. The creativity the artist has, the innovation is just there with him. Whereas AI is creating different stuff from all its inputs. But all I'm saying is that we need to regulate it. Regulation is very important so that we don't have misinformation on different subjects and we don't get people doing. There has to be regulation, and it's for our own safety. It's
yeah,
for our own good, you know. So we can have a better society and be better software engineers, based on standard practices. So I think regulation is very important.
Yeah,
The
absolutely.
culture of regulation, we should, it should be there. We can't just have, this tool is so powerful.
Yeah, it is.
I just don't want to start saying stuff you start putting together with it. Like for real.
Yeah, man.
If someone who has an illicit mind, I could think, no, come on, man. This
Brother.
is there has to be measures whereby we don't wake up one morning and all of a sudden machine it's just like the Alien War and the Terminator, those movies we've been seeing. No,
It's
for
funny,
real, man.
brother.
For real. For real. For real. For real. So all I'm
Yeah.
saying is that there has to be safety about AI, safety around AI, safety about AI, safety in AI, and how we use AI in in every fabric of our life.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, that's really good. So in general, or in summary rather, because we've talked about lots of beautiful things, things like
mhm.
automation of repetitive tasks, AI as an aid, not a replacement, complexity of software development, and we talked about a bit of things there, right? We talked also about evolving roles, David, you shed some light there, and ethical and security challenges, which David just also talked about right now. But even in between the lines, we also treated some things regarding job creation in AI related fields here. And so literally, it's come to stay, and you should adapt and be innovative, bring about lots of beautiful solutions because of this, and don't stay on the fence and say, you know what, you're not sure about this yet. That's why we're actually coming out here and making these, shows and podcasts sessions or episodes for you. So that's pretty much about it for today. Probably that's gonna be a part two where we're gonna delve, deeper and talk about more interesting things, because I mean, David, probably we're gonna do another one, another topic, or still AI related,
No
but
problem.
we're gonna let you guys know about that. I just want to know if you've got any final words, David, right now that you want to tell the people about.
I mean, like as the AI is unfolding in front of our eyes, the whole models, and we should embrace it and
Yeah.
don't be scared of it. We should run with it. I mean, AI has come to stay, so we should use this to develop our society. I mean, make us better people and engineers, better medical doctors, better researchers.
Yeah. All
I
right.
feel,
Mm-hmm.
thank you so much. So we'll
Sure.
talk. We'll talk some other time.
Yeah, sure.
Peace out.
Pleasure's all mine, man. I'm sure you subscribe to the channel, man.
Yeah, sure, sure, I am.
Sure. All
I
right.
am.
Why don't you tell the people to subscribe
I've been
then?
following the channel like for a very, very long
I
time.
know that.
Like
I
it's
know that.
only yeah,
I know
I've
that.
been
I just want you to tell the people to subscribe now.
I yeah, sure. So you should subscribe to Joshua Chris of Roman's channel. So all the best to you guys. I mean, there's a whole lot of stuff packed up for you guys to learn and to develop yourself. Peace out.
All right, man. Thank you for having us, for joining us here today. I totally appreciate it. Right, to have a good one, man. And we'll chat some other time.
You're welcome. So.
All right.